brought you to a farm. And that's because I'm trying to hug a sheep right now. That was my goal for this afternoon.
The lady at the thing told us the sheep hugging ended at 3 p.m.
Yes.
And it's like 4 or something.
We're gonna see how close we can get to some sheep.
There's some bunnies right here.
I might not be able to hug them.
It is.
Oh, there's some bunny. Oh, that's a big bunny. No, that's a person. Really fuzzy.
Let me tell you what, it smells like a sheep up in here. Did you find anybody to hug?
They're too far away to hug. I thought I'd be able to get closer.
It's a whole herd of sheep. Wait, flock? Flock of sheep.
Nah, I'm going herd.
No, it's a flock. You gonna shake on that? It's a flock of sheep, come on now. Smell that smell? That's what my childhood smells like.
Ew.
Yeah, that sweaty gnarliness.
I think this one's doing the fence wrong. I've never thought of like fencing, non-sword fencing as a verb, but that's what this dude's doing.
What are you doing, dude?
You know how to come wow. I do not like what's going on there.
Oh, he's giving me the stink eye.
You seeing that little one down there?
Just looking at us. What's up, buddy? Take your mask off.
No.
Come on, let me see the goat. Come on. What are you doing? Why not? That noise.
Homeboy's back at it.
This is your chance to get that hug.
I'm waiting. You can't force a hug. They have to really look into it. And right now, none of them look into it. Well, got a contender. Oh.
I think.
They like hay.
I think, yeah, they like hay. That's what they eat. I don't think you're gonna.
Is it good?
You're gonna need to have better hay than they've got if you want that hug.
Hey, girl, hey.
Here, just poke
Hey,
this
girl,
one.
hey.
Just give it a poke. You are a sheep poker.
Oh, he's so fuzzy. I decided that we needed animals. We haven't animaled in a really long time, and I saw the picture and I was like, you know, I can tolerate these things being a zoological situation.
It's not like when you see a sad cheetah locked up in a pen.
Yeah. Ooh, he's got tougher fluff. Yay! Do they eat the hay off of each other like after they're done? It's licking me.
What's up?
It has like a cat tongue. It's coarse.
Things are looking up, y'all.
Wow.
It's so perfect. This is a perfect creature. Look how small it is. You sniffing those balls?
Yeah. Once you get 10 balls around, it smells. This is Akashiyaki. That's the name of the city, plus yaki, which is like to grill or whatnot.
What are you looking at me for?
Yeah, I'm just verifying with the other non-local here. They're very similar to takoyaki in that it's a ball shape, and inside is taco, which is octopus. But Akashi has its own way of doing the balls. They are a little more eggy. So when they come out, you're really zooming in on my face here.
Tell us about those balls.
I am telling you about them, and you're interrupting my ball explanation.
Okay. My bad.
What that ends up doing is making it so that they're kind of like a little, instead of like looking really firm and ball-yellow.
It's because it's got egg, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
You didn't even pay attention to the ball explanation, did you? You just been over there waiting to ask me to explain stuff so you can ignore it. I'm gonna start. Stop it. I'm gonna start just by opening one up so that we can kind of get an exploration into one, which that didn't really go very well.
So it looks more like tamago yaki, or yaki tamago. Which one is it? I always screw it up.
Tamagoyaki. And that is actually the locals' name for this. They call it tamagoyaki, but you probably may not know that tamagoyaki is really different. If you do know, plus to you. So the inside is super eggy, and it's really like squishy. There wouldn't be much to chew, but then I hit that taco, and it was really chewy. It is not as exciting as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be kind of crunchy on the edges, but it's really like a omelet, like soggy omelet.
Soggy omelet balls. Sounds great.
They've got toppings that you can put on top of it to give it a little flavor. And then they also have a soup that they give you with it that you're supposed to dip it in. Soup smells like a campfire. Oh dang, we are losing consistency here.
They were soggy before.
Ball catastrophe. It's even better. It's better.
Yeah.
I guess you could say even better because it kind of didn't give it good props.
Is this like salty or anything? Like what is this? What's going on in here?
A little bit salty.
Here comes the other order.
He couldn't handle the taco, so he had to get it.
I've just got it without the octopus in it. So this is going to be exciting. I also have kyde, which was very good. This was very good for this type of place when it's not the specialty. Can we flip this camera around? Can you do it? The microphone thing is all good. So are there zebras all over me, or are we looking all right? Okay, so I'll try.
I see that you waited for the explanation or reaction or response. Nope, just kept moving.
So these balls are fresh up.
You should also note that you've never really eaten takoyaki.
Yeah, I've never had takoyaki before because I don't get down on octopus. So we asked him straight up, can you make it without it? And he was like, yeah, why not? He didn't care. He's like, sure. I'll eat one raw.
It's hot. Oh my god. It's really hot. What?
Hot off the grill.
I can't believe you went through with it.
We're okay.
You want to take a break?
So the deal with octopus, the reason I don't eat octopus is because those things are from space, right? I don't want to be sitting here with one of their tentacles dangling out of my lips when they all come back. You know what I mean? I want to be on the good list, not on the bad list. It just seems like a bad idea. Yeah, it was uneventful beyond belief. It was just like eating stuff. And I took the main ingredient out. I get it. I know. But I do want to try one. Screw it, I'll go even hot. I don't even care. The soup is the soup. I don't even know what to call it. The soup. It's warm. It tastes the same. I don't taste any different. Oh, it's like a dashi type thing with them. It's a little fishy. This is the best meal I've ever had. Today's hasn't been knocking it out of the park for food, to be completely real with you.
My phone died.
Just the battery. It's not like dead. It's just sleeping.
Yeah, but I'm trying to use it.
What's going on over here?
I'm so tired.
This is our last night on our trip down here in the Hyogo and Tottori and Kobe's and Hyogo. So this whole region that we've been doing for the last like week and a half, and I was down here doing Kyoto as well. So it's been like 2 weeks or something. I don't know, like many days. And we have actually gotten a nice hotel that Katie booked for us. And how much was it? 7,000?
7,106 yen.
It's really not that much. And we're in
7,106 yen. What were they doing there?
And we're in Himeji, and it is famous for the Himeji Castle, which is a place that we have been in the past many, many, many years ago. And I believe it was still under construction when we came, or under a renovation.
Yeah,
not still under construction.
What were you here, like in the past days?
It was
a different life?
I think it was under renovation when we were here.
All right, so in the blazing sun, we're making our way to Himeji Castle, and I'm pretty sure I mispronounced that, but it's okay. One thing that can suck about going to like a tourist attraction such as a temple or a castle or whatever is that every now and then they're under construction. So instead of getting a beautiful picture of this castle, it just looks like that. And then there's a whole bunch of cranes and stuff. So, I mean, still amazing looking, but could look a little bit better.
But we did go inside of it and stuff. It was really cool. And that would be in our around the world trip videos. So from like 2010, I guess, when we came to Japan. And I don't think we're going to go to the castle this time. That's not on the agenda, is it?
And basically whenever we come on these prefecture videos, my favorite thing to think is, man, we're in this really nice city. Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go and do something that you can't do in the city. Because we tend to have wheels.
Yeah.
And we still have the wheels.
However, since we're probably not visiting the castle, and let me tell you, if you are going to come to see a castle, see this castle. It's very, very cool. It's a good one to go walk around in. Like, we're not missing it because it's bad. We're missing it because we've already been there. And I was actually there again a second time with a friend a few years ago. The good news, though, is that from our hotel room on the 13th floor, we have a view of the castle that is amazing right now.
I'm pretty stunned because sometimes I ask, like in the thing, please give us a nice view, and I didn't even bother because I was like, we're shit munchers at this nice hotel. Like, they will not care. We are on
only 6 extra yen.
We are on the top floor. We have a castle view. It is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm pretty psyched.
It's pretty cool.
And I don't think that's very expensive for what we're getting. It's a pretty nice place with a nice view.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of these. It's a nice business hotel.
This is a hotel. It doesn't have the word business in it at all.
You're right. This is a nice hotel.
This is a hotel.
This is a decent hotel. It's not like a classy hotel. It's only 6 extra, you know what I mean? Like 6 extra yen on that. Said 7,106, and I get it right? Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, we have one more day. We're going to explore some tomorrow. And I have no idea what we're going to do because I never really have an idea what we're going to do.
You don't know.
I had no idea.
Tell them what it's like to travel with me.
You just like, hey, do all the planning and then you go with a smile. You might get to meet a sheep.
Yeah, true.
There might be some sheep petting. And then, if you're damn lucky, a pony shows up.
It did.
Their lion is fast.
Mm-hmm.
We woke up this morning in Himeji, and this is going to be our last day of our adventure in Hyogo. And Himeji is famous, of course, for their beautiful castle, which we visited many years ago. We made a video about that many years ago, and
I just want to say that we've decided not to go to Himeji.
Yeah.
We've traded that castle for a different castle.
And we'll introduce that castle in a minute, but this morning we got to sit and have some like nice breakfast with a beautiful view of Himeji Castle from our hotel. We were that close to it. It's like really, really nice place to just wake up and like, I don't know, just really perfect. But like Katie has said, we have come about a 20-minute drive away from that area to come to the real Himeji Castle.
I don't know if I'd call it that.
And it's up on this hill here. What we have is this thing that looks like, I don't know, like Snow White's castle or something like that. Snow White had a castle, right?
I don't know.
No, which one? Sleeping Beauty? Who had the castle?
I don't know. I'm not a princess.
The mermaid had a castle.
I think that either of us, you would know more about the princesses. I think that's how that would work. But I want to like preface this adventure we're about to go on right quick with a couple of things. Like number one, I don't know if this is a good idea. Number two, I don't know if it's worth the amount of money we're about to put down on it. It's not very expensive. It's 1,500 yen per person, so it's an activity with a cost, but it's not outrageous by any means. It comes with a bit of nostalgia for us, which you don't understand yet, but you'll find out.
Okay.
A Southeast Asia nostalgia. There's more than meets the eye with just this castle.
There's a lot that meets the eye.
Yeah, there's more than just the castle in this vicinity, and we're gonna go and explore a lot of that.
We were driving up to it, and it just sticks up over the Japanese countryside. It looks pretty ridiculous.
I wasn't paying attention,
honest.
And you said, "Are we going to another castle?" And I was like, "How do you find out?" And then I looked up, and I was like, "Oh, damn it!" Yeah, it is super duper gimmicky here. We're gonna take this monorail up to the castle. It kind of reminds me of the Grand Budapest Hotel having a funicular that takes you up to something. So I think that's kind of fun, but it's just cute. There's also a lot of like very touristy stuff in the main lobby that just you can dress up as a character.
Katie, I was willing to pay 1,000 yen to put you in a princess dress, and here we are not wearing the princess dress.
It is too cold to be a princess. unless I'm gonna live in the castle for a little while, and I don't plan to. But yeah.
I wouldn't give you big points for funicular, pulling that off the top of your head.
So you know what we need to do. You have to take the amount of money and you have to show where you are actually getting it. So I'm gonna say it's between 100 and 200 for that monorail ride. It was definitely worth something because it was interesting and weird. Is it worth the 200 they're saying? Or was that just 100?
You get to ride it twice, don't you?
Yeah, you can ride it twice.
Well,
so
there you
we'll
go.
go, okay, so that's 200 yen right there. We paid 15 for each person, but I had a coupon, so really it was only 13.
This math is actually extremely complex.
It's not extremely. Everyone get on the same page. So it cost us 1,300 yen per person to get in here, and we've already enjoyed 200 yen of that on the monorail.
No, the funicular.
The funicular. Well, they don't have the signage with the funicular, so the monorail's getting drilled in real hard. I would say that we already enjoyed, but we didn't have to pay for this. Maybe 100 yen worth of just, is that a fucking castle? So I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna say that's worth 100 yen. So right now, there's only, we've enjoyed 300 yen's worth of this experience. So there's 1,000 yen left that we have to peel out of this. And I'm gonna say the view on the other side of this, worth 100 yen. Because these little fuzzy hills are so cute. I did not expect to see that, and I really enjoy it. 900 yen left.
This doesn't feel real authentic.
There's no elevator. We took a funicular up here. And then, what's going on? This is the stairwell of random knight statues. This is pretty impressive. Wow. It's really impressive.
If you'd been dressed as a princess, you might have been able to pull some with these paintings.
Oh. You go put on the princess thing, okay?
I don't think they're gonna have it my size. My boys be dangling out the bottom.
We've come to our first activity. It's just scary stuff in windows. And I will tell you right now, like we came around this curtain and they want this curtain here so that you feel like you're not supposed to be there, and then when you come through you get a little spooked by this. They did well. Like the power of a curtain is pretty good. I think you're too tall for this ride. You're kind of blocking the polar bear. Oh, but the dolphin, yeah. Whoa, you're about to fall. You're about to fall. Be careful.
So this is like straight up, like, first off, we're the only people in the castle. And second off, dude, trick art museums are kind of lame. Like, they're always in the lamest place. And they're just, like, I don't know, it's fun for kids or whatever, but if I see something like this, I'm like, I'm not getting involved with this trick art museum. They suckered me into one.
Yeah.
I put the castle on a hill. I didn't know there was going to be this here. But this is one of the activities. Trick art with this polar bear and this. He looks real long from my perspective. Are any of these even remotely nifty looking? These are lame. These are especially lame trick art. Go to the camera, point here, and if I sit here, nothing. How do they look?
Like you have wings.
Does it work?
Not really, because I can see the edge. Hold on, maybe if I get closer.
If I had a princess costume on, I think we'd be looking better.
Yeah, true. Actually look pretty good.
You just said 1 second ago, let's get out of here wasting time in this fucking trick art museum.
I'm still saying it looked really good.
Okay.
Like that porpoise really looked real. Or I mean, like it looked like it was like up, not flat.
My question to you about this is that is the trick art museum so lame that you've now changed the money in the other direction?
Yeah, I would say we're back up to 1,000 because I'm having to waste my time walking through this. Okay, wow. Oh my gosh, you just brought a whole nother. There are stairs to the shuttle. I don't think they know about space.
Katie said there's like, they built a thing and they didn't know what to do with it, like they didn't know what to put inside of it, and that's absolutely what has happened. This is a room that's just got a chandelier hanging in it at a weird height. And the rest of the room is black, except for there's like this place to worship Satan over here in the corner. So if you want to come over here and do some Satan worshiping, then that's a thing. And then if you go across the hall, it blows your brains out with how bright it is.
Is this a
here.
Jamiroquai set?
It is so bright. It's just the place is just. It's just trash, y'all. Straight up.
So I was really gonna skip like all this stuff that they were making us walk through, but we've kind of hit a room that's a bit of a stunner.
Don't fall down the stairs, Eric.
Yeah. You almost fell off the stairs getting up here.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, this is the room of all of them so far that has actually looks like it had effort put into it, even though it's still kind of cheesy. It's at least fun cheesy. It's not lame cheesy.
These are the houses from Kobe.
Oh, you're right. Nice cock.
I already got this place.
What? What are you talking about? That's a different place.
Counting a castle is a different place? I got the whole park. Do you really want to count the castle?
I just want the. Yeah. Pick up those. What are they called?
In all honesty, I got that building as well.
We've arrived in the top room of the castle, and this room is summing up everything that they've done. It's
Sunny and Cher are playing right now.
It's a hodgepodge of insanity. So there's this little thing just on a random table, and then there's this book.
There's this book that says. It doesn't say what they think it says. It sounds like a lot of dudes getting married to a dude and living happily ever after.
And then there's a Christmas tree. And then if you come over here, there's a skeleton bride and groom.
She's grabbing his crotch.
Singing I Got You, Babe. And as you come around over here, there's just this.
Another person has entered this room now. Time to put our masks on and watch their wonderment.
we're done with the magical castle. You want to give us your hot take and review?
All right, so I think we're at like, they need to earn back about 1,200 yen. I would definitely say you have to come to this place with a certain intention. And my intention, we haven't even been there yet. There is more to this place than this castle, and we have not even gone to the area that I'm interested in. They suck you into the castle because they put you on the monorail, and then you go through the 7 stories of the castle.
Of random crap.
Of just random stuff. Like, I want to know, who is the person that they took all these things from? Like, what grandmother died and had all this shit? Like, worked on, like, plays and stuff that had all the outfits and was really into nutcrackers.
A Renaissance fair went out of business.
Yes. So, as of right now, we have not even done what I've been interested in. We've just been sucked into this castle. I don't think that they're going to be able to regain enough of the monetary momentum here to make this having been worth it. And, yeah. I can still hear that music just playing in my head. You had more to say about this?
In the castle's defense, at the very end, back tucked in a corner behind the diaper changing room and a toilet, was an area where they had a bunch of art that was drawn by people who are like mobility level, like, what's the word for it?
Mainly their arms are paralyzed.
Yeah,
they
have
what it seemed
different
like,
levels of paralysis.
And
so they did, like, they had art that they had put up, and like they painted this stuff with their mouth or with their feet or whatever, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it was the best part of the entire castle.
Yeah, well, the view from outside the castle isn't too bad.
Yes, the exterior of the castle is
No.
very good.
I mean, not the castle, but like if that, like this,
the hills,
it looks nice.
yeah.
The exterior of the castle, they actually have a courtyard sort of thing that you break out into, and they've just put decals on the walls, and it just looks lame. It makes me wonder if the history of the structure, maybe it used to be, or maybe the future of will be a love hotel. It would make a good love hotel.
Yes.
Like that's the level of what we're working with here.
If I could roll up in here and do karaoke all day and like walk around to certain like rooms that had been decorated better. Like not rooms that had the purpose for you taking pictures, but rooms that were just decorated to feel like a castle. It's not a castle in there. I came to a castle. Oh, the fununcular's here. All right, we're taking a break. Because I truly thought that we would be finished with this park before lunchtime, and that we'd be heading down to a somen restaurant, and our day would be heading forward. But we got trapped in a castle for a while, and we still have another area of that park that I want to check out. We've driven to a nearby convenience store to get some lunch, and so that we don't end up going to the part that I actually want to enjoy and being all angry. Because
you're a little grumpy, let's be real right now.
Oh, let's be real. Kyde is disappointed in the, it had sauce in it already. I didn't need to buy dressing. So I've actually bought my own somen. You can get this at, basically any convenience store, like the major ones, and you can eat the noodles on your own.
And they're tofu, that's cool.
So they come in a little package like this, which is watertight, but there's a whole lot of water in there. And it just says, step number 1, open this side. Get it all over your lap. I did that. And then step number 2, keep getting it on your lap. Do that side. And then you pour out all of the water. Wow.
Okay.
That's a long pour.
Is this water?
I assume it's kind of like soba-yu, where it's the water that the noodles were cooked in. Still going. Strong. My crotch is really wet now.
Hit the OnlyFans, y'all.
Once it's drained out, you can take off the top, and you've just got regular somen noodles made from tofu. And I'm going to add them to a typical kyde salad, which is going to be slightly embarrassing, but all of my friends have gotten used to this. You will too. So you can buy a bag of cabbage. Open it. I take this. Dropping those noodles in there.
Just put it in the bag.
Just put it in the bag.
All right.
Then I'm not gonna make you watch this, but I'm going to squish up all this chicken into little pieces, and I'm gonna put that in there too. And then I'm gonna use the dressing that they gave me with the somen noodles instead of the dressing that I bought. Just because I want to try a different flavor. I put it on there.
And then she just mixes everything in the bag up and eats it with chopsticks.
Yep.
It's honestly weird, but it's pretty smart, and it's cheap, and it's not ridiculously unhealthy. Like, you've come up with a pretty good little thing, but it does look kind of insane.
Yeah, people see me doing this, and they're like, what is she doing? Especially people who have encountered me for the first time, they don't understand. But once you've seen me do it a few times, you're like, oh, that's just shit she does. So I'll mix it, I'll add the chicken, and then I've got a chicken somen salad, and I'm pretty happy about that. And it's not heavy in calories, like this is like 250 to 300 calories, so I'm keeping it light, because I got a dinner I want to have later. Hopefully that'll work out, but we might get trapped at this castle.
The good news, though, is the castle view from where we're sitting isn't so bad.
Eric,
yes.
my crotch is still wet.
I bet. It's a lot of noodle juice, dude.
There's a lot of noodle juice. I regret my somen dreams, but my salad tasted amazing. That chicken was yuzu pepper. Woo! That was a good lunch. I didn't talk at all. Just sat there and ate it. I was really happy. We've decided it's important to talk about the car because the car comes with some quirks that I just didn't expect a car to have, and we had to figure out one of them, which was very difficult, but that's on the inside of the car. Let's talk about the outside of the car. This is the most nondescript car I've ever seen. It is incredibly boring. Like, one of the possible names that we were gonna, like, I thought about giving it was Vague. Just meet Vague.
I don't know if this car is really, like, it's when we go to find it in a parking lot, we have to use the button to see which one beeps, because we can't remember what color or whatever it is. It's just the same color as everything. And the features of it are nothing. There's no shape to it at all. And there's cubes, there's the cube vans, and then there's like little K cars and things. And I know this is like a K car, but it's in between the two and just blobby. It's just really blobby, and it doesn't fit our suitcases very nicely at all. Which is weird because it should be roomy, but it's kind of not. Yeah.
It is ill-matching.
What is the car we had last time called? It's like a Spitz or something like that.
A Spitz?
Yeah. What was the last car we had? We've had it 2 times in a row, and I thought those little cars were good, little hatchbacks.
It was fine.
Little
It bothered
Toyota,
me
something
that the
other.
windows constantly fogged up. But back to this car. Let's hop inside and see what's going on.
The first little quirk and feature of this car is it's one of these cars where the speedometer and everything is like over here in the middle. But in order to make it so that the driver has this information in front of them, they have created a solution for a problem that they created by moving this over, right? And it is, let's see if this button works this time. It can be spotty. It didn't work. I'll push it again. It didn't work. This is going really bad. There we go, it worked that time. They've created one of these things where it like shows you your speed on this like pop-up thingy. Which just seems like, again, like a solution to a problem they created, and it's kind of like gangly, like it doesn't actually go up all the way. It's kind of broken. So that's good and fun, but that's not the most like meh part.
We took a very long time trying to figure out how to put stuff into the GPS. And we're just sitting somewhere, and all of the options on the GPS are just grayed out. We can't see what's happening. So if I click here, searching here is unavailable. You can't even see the text, but right here is where you'd put in the search. It's not available. So you're asking yourself, what's wrong? Does it already have a route programmed in there? I don't know. So you check some other menus, and this is like the travel menu. No, here we go. You want to type in a telephone number? All of the things are gone. You can't type in anything. All right. You want to like adjust the music? you can't. It's just blacked out. We are at a complete stop. We're at a Lawson. Like, something should be computing to this machine that we are not moving. So we're just sitting here. We're frustrated. It's probably like 5 minutes trying to figure out, like, so we're not going to get to use this GPS for the entire time because, granted, these machines really do help. It makes both people feel like they can just relax and go. They don't have to be the navigator. Eric, please depress the parking brake.
So you come down here, and then you do that.
And now, you can put in your destination.
All the features work.
So, the name of the car is Full Stop. What the fuck, Full Stop? Why? Why is this like this? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. You're already parked, but we've got to put the parking brake on. So that means if you're in the middle of a route and you have decided that you don't need to go to that area anymore, you have to stop somewhere that you can get into the parking brake and take the time for the parking brake to cancel the route. Or else she's just going to keep yelling at you about somewhere that you don't want to go anymore.
It's frustrating.
Really shocking. This guy doesn't look exactly like the statue, but there was that one where we both stood next to him doing the...
This dude, he is cheesing out hard. Look at those teeth.
I'm also thinking about in Laos, they have that big airstrip arc that they made.
Oh, yes.
The American government gave them all this concrete. This is essentially like a concrete jungle that they've created of random stuff. So we're gonna go in and...
If one thing these castle people are good at, it's random.
Random stuff. So let's see what we get over here in the Ishi area. What was that Nickelodeon game? The Aztec stuff? And the kids had to go through the different rooms and not get caught by the guy? It feels like that. He's gonna go in here and he's gonna be in there.
Like he might be out here, Katie.
Kind of like a ruins type thing over here.
How hard is it though to build ruins, really? You know what I mean? You just kind of do it halfway and then stop.
Yeah, true.
This is just basically a little walkthrough of a bunch of recreations of different statues and stuff, or from around different parts of the world. A lot of them seem to be from Mexico. I'm not sure if they're aiming for that region, or maybe we just haven't gotten to another part of the world yet.
Maybe that region just constructed more things with this type of aesthetic,
and
that's why it lends more to this.
This is vastly better than the castle was. Even, I mean, it's just kind of interesting to see like the different little things they've made and stuff. It's not mind-boggling or anything like that, but the castle was so bad.
It's a nice little stroll,
Yeah,
and
this is
you get to look
outside.
at weird things. So the one thing that I was having trouble with about this was I thought to myself, one, is it going to be worth it price-wise, time-wise, so forth? And then secondarily, are her boobs so far forward?
No, those are her arms,
Those
bro.
are her arms. Oh, I thought that was trick art. That was trick art. Because I looked at this one. If you look at these boobs over here, these boobs over here.
Oh, those are boobs.
Yeah. So was it going to be worth it time-wise and money-wise? And then also, how do I feel about what is obviously being done here, which is the creation of stuff. Stuff that's not needed. Stuff that... So... While it's interesting, I just don't know if...
It's not active enough or interactive enough for me to like find this fascinating. But at least this is something... This is so much better than the castle.
Yes.
It's so much better than the castle. That's really my takeaway. Some of this stuff is kind of cool looking, I'll give it that.
As with all tourists that have ever been to China, you want to go and see the Terracotta Army. We did not get to do that while we were here, or there. And I noticed in the book, they just had this picture that looked exactly like that. And that's basically why we came here. It's just so iconic looking, and they're kind of nailing it. Like, it feels immense walking into this huge structure. And then in this little pod, there are 400 dudes. Next to it's another pod of 400 dudes, and then even more on the other side. It's actually immense. This took a lot of effort and commitment to making something from another country and doing it well.
I don't know if this is the most faithful recreation. They got a pyramid and some sphinxes here. Let's, I don't know. That's the right grill. I don't think that's not what I remember when I saw it before. Let's see what they got. You can go inside here and see if they've put anything cool inside. I'm feeling some King Tut vibes already. Here we go. There's my man.
There was a stamp rally. Could have been stamping this whole time. This is the Egypto stamp.
You're a world traveler, my dude.
Yep. Feels verified.
The statue area is pretty big, and I was impressed when we walked in and saw all the soldiers, those Chinese soldiers in that one room. But then you come out onto this hill and there is just this hill completely covered with figures. Like, somebody has gone through and put forth a tremendous amount of effort to build all of this. And just the scope of it is kind of impressive, to be completely real.
Yeah, I'm pretty baffled by it. I was telling you, I feel like aliens did this.
Yeah, it does feel like aliens like collected a whole bunch of, oh, that one's good, and then puts it here.
Iconic
and,
cultural
put this one
imagery,
here.
and then just like pushed print.
And everything
and they chose the ink, and it was concrete or whatever we're looking at.
Everything feels just a little bit off. You know what I mean? Like, it's off just a tiny bit, enough that it makes you kind of quirk your head in a little bit. Like, well, that's
the uncanny valley of
statues. Yeah,
statues.
the uncanny valley of statues. And we've entered a zone that has got a bunch of stuff that looks like something you would see on temples and stuff in India. And the first thing that both of us think of is we went to this temple in India that was like super old, and it was all like sex stuff, like people like being sexy and whatnot. And there's this one part of the statue that I'll just put on the screen for you to see. And now we're looking for that guy, but I don't think we're going to have any hope.
On Google Maps, it said that this was kind of close to an old folks' home. And I didn't understand the scope of this park. We are currently walking between two structures that are old folks' home, assisted living, and you can see into the windows. And
there's old folks right up in those windows.
And they don't look healthy. They look like they're in that bed for a while. So that was a little jarring. Yeah. I feel a little unsettled.
And it's not that we're not on the path. Like, this literally says that's the path.
Yep.
Like, we're not like we didn't get lost or something. Like, we're literally walking through an old folks home area.
And I thought, oh, maybe they're excited that people walk by and will wave.
No, they are not in that
it was
game.
A sadder state of affairs than that.
Yeah, this whole everything about today is very strange. I almost think that we were trying to calculate like what's this been worth or whatever. You know what I mean? But I think that it has gotten so weird. I am so intrigued by the things that have been happening in the last bit. It's almost been worth the money and time. It's sort of offset stuff. We made it to what we think is the far edge of the park, and there is this arch, and it's labeled Great Wall of China, and then there's stairs, and it goes up a hill to some pagodas that are sitting up on the hill that you can see from like the beginning of the park. And it's all very intriguing, and like half of me wants to go and half of me doesn't want to do the stairs, and the other half of me, which is holding the camera, really is like, let's go get some fika instead. So I think we're going to decide to not climb up the stairs and go up to the Great Wall of China, because I mean, the Great Wall of China is dope. Like, if you ever have the chance to go. We went, and this one might be cool, but we're probably not going to get the opportunity to zip line off this one.
I hope not.
She goes, sit down. Look at that golden hour happening on us right now. We have come out to a little seaside spot that Katie found, and we've got a fika, we've got some hot cocoa, Katie's got some hot kolcha, and we have a parfait that looks really cool. It's like lots of Ichigo strawberries and stuff, and it's got some cornflakes in the bottom like they do, but it's also got ice cream, and let me tell you what, it's probably very close to freezing outside right now.
We're definitely lower than 10.
Where's the thermometer?
The fives?
It says it's 11. Feels like 10, but it's windy.
Yes, it's got a breeze, but that's how the beach be. Let's cheers this, because I'm interested in eating it.
Oh, I've got some. Oh, the cocoa is really good. Wow. The attraction here, cheers to golden hour?
Golden hour, yeah.
Golden hour. The cheers to the attraction to this region, Katie was saying that between December and February, the stars align, and this area has a really cool sunset spot vibe because the sea turns golden the way that the sun sets. So we're sitting here, and like literally behind us, like there it is, it's happening. Gotta turn the knob the right way. There we go. So we've got quite a view, and we've got ice cream at the same time.
I'm just gonna pretend it's summer.
It's are you gonna pretend it's summer?
Yep.
Where?
Right here.
In Antarctica.
Right here.
Oh man, I dropped the whip. So strawberries in Japan are a winter thing, which is kind of fun because we're eating strawberries right now, and it's a winter thing. I'm gonna set the camera up to make a time lapse.
Okay.
While the camera is hopefully giving us a time lapse, the staff came and gave us a little nard warmer. This thing looks like super ancient, man.
It looks like a fire honeycomb.
Yeah, but it's really nice because it's warm and I'm full of ice cream. Let's filling the gas tank.
Let's filling the gas tank. Before you return your car, you need to fill up the gas tank. It's kind of the same in the States, I'm assuming, unless you pay to have them overcharge you on gas. And I refuse to have that happen. So we've got a machine. Press touch here.
This one's in English though. This is sort of cheating.
She's talking to me in Japanese, and there is no English on this screen.
Yeah, English right there, buddy. Oh, you're really cheating.
We're going cash.
Each one of these machines is different than the last, so every time you fill up, it's like you have to learn how to use their machine, and it can be kind of a pain.
It's asking for a QR code right now.
Please let the scanner read for discounts.
Next. Sweet. Okay, yes, and we want to go full or regular. Alright.
You gotta touch the...
It wants me to put the money in now.
Oh, you gotta put the money in first.
Yes, so give me your 50.
Again, like, these machines are completely different every time. Like, every company has got a different take on how this functions. So it can sometimes be absolute chaos, and sometimes they do it for you.
And that'll give us about 33. All right, confirm. Please touch a sheet.
It's this thing.
It's this thing. You don't really know what that is.
Well, it says shit though.
After opening the fuel... Oh, he knows that I haven't opened this yet.
My guess is that this thing, it says it's for static electricity, I think, so that you don't blow up the place. It like grounds you.
All right, refueling. Please hang the nozzle when complete. I'm gonna hang nozzle.
Hang some knots.
And they don't have the little clicker down there. You can't just tell it to go and stand by. You have to hold it.
If anybody's curious and wants to do some like hyper math, this is 151 yen per liter.
Yeah.
So if you want to figure out how much that costs per gallon, rock on. I think it's like around $6 or $7 a gallon. I think that's about what it works out to be. But maybe I'm wrong about that math.
Then you wait.
Woo! That's all?
That's all.
All right.
608.
So that was 2,600 yen for our drive across Hyogo. And we drove around quite a bit. These things get really good gas mileage.
Okay. He knows I'm hanging Nas. So now I get a receipt.
But where's your change come from?
Yeah, so it's listed out everything that's happened, and it's showing that I should be getting back $23.92. And you'd ask yourself, where do you get that? Not here. You have to go somewhere else. And sometimes it's a machine, and sometimes it's a person. So let me put on my mask.
Here you go.
So you have to go into, I think this is the right machine. We're gonna be feeling real stupid if it's not. Mishito.
Maybe this one just gives you change.
But how do I get it to do anything?
No. Like, breaks a big bill.
Alright.
Can you put the receipt in here? No, it doesn't. Yeah, maybe.
Gotta open the door. It doesn't want anything.
No, it says you take the receipt from here, my bad.
Yep, I'm not getting anything out of that machine. There was a window over here with a person. But there's no...
どうやってお疲れますか?
It took him time to figure out what was going on.
ここ絵のようにこのバーコードをここへねずーっと中に2300円
はい。あ、すみません。あと初めてですね。はい。すみません。
はいどうぞ
Okay, so now we have our change and we're ready to roll. We're all fueled up to return our rental car.
Bland.
Take him to the fullest of stops.
All right, don't feel so bad. Because I was in there making B-roll of that machine. And a lady came in. And she had no idea what to do. She was like putting the paper in like where the money comes out and stuff. And she's Japanese, and she started looking at it, and she was like trying to read it. And she was like, "Wait."
It doesn't give any real explanation.
It does. There's this thing on there that explains what to do.
But I expect a laminated piece of paper that shows me picture by picture with instructions.
So I explained to her how to do it. I was like, "Oh no, you got to put it here." And then she put the thing in the receipt in the wrong direction. And like she put it in head first, but you got to put it in butt first, right? And she was like confused, like what? And then I was like, no, you got to turn it around. She turned it around, but she put it upside down. I was like, no, Hantai, you got to turn it over. She's like, oh, okay. And she flipped it over, and then she had to put it way deep. And then she was like, she told me, oh, this is the first time I've ever used one of these machines before. I was like, yeah, me too. I just learned how to use it a minute ago. And she was like, oh, and the money came out. She's like, I got that. And she got the money. So we aren't the only people baffled by these things. Like every time you come here, it's like, oh God, what are we gonna have to do? What kind of hoops are you gonna have to jump through? Sometimes it's a person, sometimes it's not, sometimes it's a machine inside, sometimes it's a machine outside.
Sometimes you gotta do more things with like member cards on the machine.
Yeah, it's always madness. And for some reason, our credit cards, our Japanese credit cards never work at these places. We don't know why. It just never, you can get fuel, I don't know. So it's always a cash situation. But yeah, it's always like, oh, how's it gonna go? We've dropped off our wheels and we're going to be on a train in about an hour or so, hour and a half, and we're going to be zooming 3 hours north back to Tokyo, and that's going to be the end of our adventure here in this bit of Japan, where we went to Tottori and Hyogo, and then within Hyogo we spent some time in Kobe. All those videos should be up. This should be the last one. And this is our like final thoughts video for the Hyogo experience.
The Shinkansen has come.
The Shinkansen has arrived.
All aboard.
And I've got some fish, y'all. Yeah, so the first thing that I said before we filmed this was like, I don't remember what we did in Hyogo. Like, when we do these videos, it's like a prefecture and then a thing and then a prefecture. It just all blurs together in my head. But you ran through...
I took some time and kind of laid it out. Like, first day we went up to the coast and we went to a little soba town and we had all the little plates with the soba on it. And then we did a couple of like little upper hikes. One of them to look at that mountain that was on the hillside. And then we tried to get a hot pot or go to the planetarium, but nobody really knew about that. And those didn't work out, but we ended up going to an udon restaurant that was really, really top notch. Like sometimes you have plans for all these things, but then you don't end up doing them, and you end up going somewhere completely unexpected, and that is way better is not the way to say that. It's just unexpected, and makes me pretty happy that there's always like I have a plan, and then I have a safety net, and then I have a oh crap, something good come along.
I'm just looking for wasabi.
And he found it.
It's empty. Bumpkus. So this was the prefecture that we climbed up that mountain and rang the bell with the grass shoes on, right?
No.
That was in Tottori?
That was in Tottori. Yeah, you just told me that.
See, I'm not good at remembering. It all blurs, man. It all blurs.
Yeah.
So honestly, to be completely real, like Kobe was really fun when we were doing that city, but the Hyogo prefecture didn't click the way some things do. A couple of things did, but mostly it felt like we kept finding problems with like we couldn't move forward for a logistical reason or something. There was just a lot of little things that didn't line up and work with luck for us.
And a lot of like timelines got messed up, either because I took us on the wrong trail, or somebody sucked us into a castle. So yeah, I feel like at least a good hour to 2 hours to 4 hours got eaten up by just going in the wrong direction. So I would say that if somebody asked me, should you go to Hyogo, I'd say no go to Hyogo.
I would say go to Kobe. Kobe was awesome.
No doubt.
And Kobe's
I'd go back
inside
to
of
Kobe.
it. But yeah, Hyogo Prefecture does not stand out as a like wow thing. I felt like Tottori did.
Yes,
But
Tottori was fun.
At the same time, I'm tired. I did Kyoto, Tottori, Kobe, and then Hyogo, and I think that our mood can impact the way that we experience a place for sure. And when you get to a point where you're just kind of like, I'm kind of exhausted, kind of tired, then it can make things not as joyous and stuff. So there is the aspect of that.
There's also this aspect that Hyogo has Kobe, and it also has Himeji. Both of those are on the south side, and if you asked anybody about this prefecture, they probably just say
Go
that
to
those
Kobe,
are,
go to Himeji.
Those are the two things you
Yeah.
need to do here, and we like to reach outside the box, and I feel like there's not much outside the box, and
Yeah.
if there is, it's some things that just don't interest us.
Yes.
But
Or don't work logistically, or there's a lot of different reasons that we choose what we
it
choose.
feels strange to go,
Another
this was
wasabi
a-
tub is here.
I guess I never felt that there could be kind of like a lame prefecture.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd use the word lame. I would just say that our experience with it for the last couple of days wasn't exciting. That's how I would say it. I don't think I'm educated enough to say something negative about a place. You know what I mean?
I might be. I read a book. Yeah.
But I'm looking
so-
forward to our 3-hour train ride home, and I'm really looking forward to eating this fish because I am starving right now. That's Hyogo.
Hyogo.
So that's the end of the big Hyogo and Kobe and Tottori and my portion of the Kyoto video series. It was all filmed back in December. So I don't know how many videos it was. It was quite a few. And we're going to be having some more videos come from our new neighborhood. And we went someplace else recently. Where did we go? Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Oh yeah, we did touch
We went to, oh my gosh, Nagoya.
Yes, we went to
Nagoya, yeah. And in a couple days, we're going to be going up to Hokkaido, and we're going to be filming some stuff in Hokkaido. So we've got a ton of stuff on the way. So make sure you're subscribed, and you've got the bell rang, and you're liking the video, and you're commenting, and doing all the things for bot pleasure.
For bot encouragement.
Yeah, bot encouragement.
Feed the bots.
And that helps other people find us and stuff. And that's really, we're very thankful towards that. And then we've also got all the other stuff, the Instagrams and the Twitters and the Facebooks and we got a Discord. Come hang out on the Discord. And Twitch. I'm hitting Twitch hard. Come hang out on Twitch. If you're a Twitch person, come hang out with me. I'm really enjoying that. and hoping that I can. I got a bike. I'm gonna go do bike trips on the Twitch. I'm really stoked about this. And the Patreon people? Do you want to do the Patreon plug?
I was waiting to see if it happened. To Patreon, everybody that's on there, we are just ecstatic that you're involved and that we're doing this and all enjoying it at the same time. And if you want to get more involved and help feed this weird adventure we're on, you can go over to Patreon. There's some perks there, like a postcard club and early access to things, and basically just seeing all the things that Eric does on the internet, because he's good at the internet and I'm not.
Well, I don't know if I'm good at the internet. I'm just present.
Yeah, I would say present and leaning on good.
Am I?
Yeah.
I'll take that, and I'll put that feather in my cap.
How about you discover me? And we'll see how things go from there.
Hi.
Wow.
Check these out. This feature.
You know, let me show you why we're not going up there. Come here. That's a Great Wall of China over there. You see this shit? I'm not doing this.